Hello YouTube. So today we're going to go over a replay sent in by Chris G. I have no idea what server he's on, but he's a fairly average player like myself. And, um, I just watched this replay and I was very interested by it. So let's get stuck in and, I'll do kind of a play-by-play. So as you can see here, he's sitting in the Lowe, which is one of my favorite tier 8 premium tanks. It has recently been buffed, so it is again competitive. It can see tier 8 tanks. As you can see, he's top tier, which is very good for him. He has quite a bit of opposition on the other team, including the Defender and the IS-3, which are very heavily armored Soviet heavy tanks, as well as the Emil 1, which is that new tier 8 auto-loading Swedish TD, or not TD, but heavy tank. So, as we can see here, it is him and the Revelarice, the M4A1, of Don Kahlo. Now, mind you, this is a pretty good matchup. This is the best matching you can get as a tier 8. But when I usually play this map, I try to go down to, either the G1 area or the H2 area and fight in that area. Hold on, I'm still learning how to do this. So, okay, here we go again. Like I said, I'd like to go down and fight in Heavy Alley, which is, down towards the H2 area. I have not gone to the Ice Road for a very long time. So, I'm almost wondering if this is not a very valid, well, it's not, I'm wondering, it is a very valid area to fight in. So, but as you can see, his team is, as they're splitting up, there's some conversation in chat. He fires one off for, I have no idea what reason, probably to be a smart aleck like everybody else on World of Tanks. But, he is a top tier heavy. Now, in my mind, I would have gone all the way down to H2. So let's see how this works out. He's being given a very friendly push by Don Kahlo. Very friendly. And they're coming up to an area of the ice road that I would expect opposition. As you can see, they are very light down on the H1, going down towards the H1 area, H2 area. So Don comes up and over the hill with no opposition yet, which is, in my mind, thoroughly strange because usually there's a lot of players that try to get up there. So, as we're coming down the road, we run into our first opposition. His platoon mate does not take a very even trade, but he does track the IS-3. His first bit of damage is for 320 on the IS-3. Notice how he shot the lower plate, which is a very big weak area of the IS-3. Next, he's going hull down against the IKV, which is a very lightly armored Swedish tier 8 or tier, I don't know what tier tank destroyer that is, tier 6 I believe. IS-3 has been tracked again, and he was sorry folks, my headset was giving me fits, but he was angling his armor very incorrectly, very side on to the Lowe. He took his first bit of damage there. As we can see, he got shot in the commander's hatch of the Lowe. Now he's going after the Defender, which he hit the top cupola. That is another weak spot of the of the Defender tank. He bounces his first shot from the VK3001, which is a tier 6. Apparently he was shooting APCR. Now he's taken 112 damage from the tier 6 auto-loading medium tank. He hesitates his shot a little bit. I would have tried to take the shot on the Tiger 1 there, but his second shot goes right through. Notice he's using 100% AP ammo. Now he's slowly peeking around the corner, continuing to angle his armor very well here. He takes a shot right at the gun mantlet of the defender. Now that defender has a wicked gun mantlet in Tier 8. Defender takes some artillery damage, and he's aiming. He doesn't quite take the shot. He had a pretty good shot there on the cupola, so he decides to take a shot at the Panther 88 commander's hatch, which it does go straight through. That is one thing you have to watch out about the German tanks. He bounces another shot from the Panther 88. Takes a cheeky shot right there into the lower plate of the Email 1. And he's continuing to look for targets. Notice he's focusing on the Panther 1, or the Panther 88. That one hits the rock, and it bounces straight off. You know, the Lowe is a very accurate tank, but, you know, sometimes it can prove very trollish. He goes ahead and takes out the defender tank, which is very well. Next, his target is the Tiger 1. In my experience, everybody, it has been, you know, you always want to take a gun out of the game. A gun out of the game is one less gun shooting at you. He takes a blind shot and hits the IKV-65. Then he takes a shot from the Emil and the Panther 88. Returns a shot into the Panther 88, but just barely squeezes over him. You know, he's lost about 1,000 hit points, so he's got to be real careful. Takes a shot at the Emil 1 and takes him out of the game. That is a very deadly autoloader to take out of the game at this stage. Continues to hit the Panther 88, which he did very well on. KV2 takes a shot and misses. He's over-angled his armor, so now he's got his front drive wheel, which is very easy for that Panther 88 to go through. Now he's hiding behind the IS-3, which this is good because it hides the weak lower plate. Takes a shot right into the commander's hatch and knocks him right out, which this is good. And now he's turning to face the Scorpion G, which is a very high pin, high alpha gun of that premium tank destroyer. So now let's see here. That Scorpion G is looking straight at him, but he has got help. The T-28 prototype is coming up. Oh, and he lands a nice explosive shell right into the side or the turret of that. Scorpion G comes up, not looking at him, and crits takes the shot. So now he wants to continue over and help his allies over with the Type 59 and the M445, that Tier 7 French heavy tank. Well, I think it's kind of more of a medium tank is the way you have to play it, but, you know, to each their own. So now, mind you, the Lowe has gotten a buff recently, and it has become very competitive again, which, you know, is one of my favorite premium tanks. It makes me a lot of money on my World of Tanks account. So he's still looking for a shot on the Type 59. Not quite, because the Type 59 is dodged behind the rocks. But Crits has done very well this match with 3,808 damage and 6 kills, so he's already got a Top Gun. His platoon mate is telling his teammates to do a 2 versus 1 push, which, you know, it seems that they're going to go ahead and do. Now he's looking for a shot on the turret of the Type 59. He can't quite make the shot, which I don't blame him for not taking. But now the Type 59 reverses back, and you see the side and back of his turret, which that is a very easy shot to pin. The Type 59 gives a large side profile there. Now he starts climbing slowly up the hill, and as we all know, the Lowe is a very slow and cumbersome tank at Tier 8. But it has a very potent gun and very, very decent armor at this stage. So now, as you can see, that T-28 prototype is in a very defensive position. I find that to be a very one-sided defensive position because you can only really see down one side of the hill there, and you know, it allows everybody to do exactly what they're doing here and come up the one side. So now, as you can see, the IS-3, T-28 Prot, and the M46 Korea are heading up and really beginning to pressure that T-28 prototype. The T-28 prototype, however, is doing the right thing, and he is hull down. And finally, Crits has made it. As he starts climbing the hill, you can see his teammates are taking pot shots at the T-28 prototype, but nobody seems to be hitting him. Uh, that T-28 does pack a very potent gun. The IS-3 fires and misses, hits the ground in front of him. As he slowly sneaks up, he's looking for a shot, doesn't quite have one yet, so he continues to move forward. Up, he has been spotted. Looky there, he's got the top cupola of the T-28 prototype, which has also received a buff here in this last patch. It has got a top speed buff, which makes it a lot more competitive and a lot more fun to play. Takes another shot and squeezes it right into the commander's hatch again. And that does it, everybody. They have won. He has got 6 kills and 4,809 damage, so he did really well. Now that I have no idea what I'm doing here, let's see if I can't look at the post-game stats. And for the post-game stats, he came up with a mastery badge, Hand of God, I believe that is, Bruiser, Duelist, Fire for Effect, and Shellproof, as well as he took home a Steel Wall, a High Caliber for dealing the most damage in his game, as well as a Top Gun for the 6 kills. I want to say I thoroughly enjoyed this replay, Crits. Thank you for uploading it to whatreplays.net or .com. Uh, we'll be back again for another run with me later tonight. I will be platooning with one of my clanmates, Ringsboy. So I will see you then, everybody.